automatic mode on an e-bike. Just choosing the high setting for me and getting the cadence. Oh, going for a slower cadence than normal. It's just a little bit slower, which is what I want. I don't want to go blasting up here because a lot of these rocks are square edged and you don't want to be bounced off the bike. There's the risk of bike parking, the off-piste. But what I'm trying to say, it's quite a small area really. It's not like a sprawling forested area like Abergorlech or Brechfa up near north of Carmarthen on the way to Llandilo. That's like a big area, you know. You can look across the vastness of it. Same with Llanwano Forest. So they're vast areas, aren't they? This is quite a neat little area. Ooh, that's amazing. Closest I've come to in Wales to a trail like this was up in Coed y Brenin, and me and my son did the drive from Cardiff. What a trail. I mean, similar to this really. I mean, the viewage, there's some steep old climbs on that one as well, but the trails had a similar feel, you know, to this. Yeah, it's the other side of mountain biking, isn't it? Oh, oh. Rabbit. Oh, dear me. It's very windy, very wet. Very, very windy. Whew. Okay. Whew. So we're on Odin, which follows the road here, but it is so windy. Ooh. Yeah, I'm in the woods now. Amazing how many little trails you see snaking off to the side in places where you just would never have imagined there being a trail, but some of the sort of more capable riders have thought, tell you what, let's build something going straight down there. I said no to the off-piste, and I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel shamed. You got a choose your battles, haven't you? But everything is, when things are slippery at Cwmcarn, then you know it's wet. Like, there's no two ways about it. There's a puddle every 10 feet. Wooed a little bit by the reported temperature of 12 degrees. Thinking, oh, it's going to be fine. But it is as wet as a wet thing. Wrestling the bike. Oh, let's try and tame it. You forget sometimes you've got to brake a little bit earlier to account for that additional weight of the battery and the motor and the beefier frame, beefier tyres. You can just get the cadence up and fly a bit. It's great. Huh. Get the heart rate up. The cadence. Oh. Above motor speed there, 17 miles an hour. Going up. I feel my legs like, oh, what's going on? It's like someone's turned the lights out, you know? All of a sudden you've got this resistance. Until you realise, yeah, no assistance over 15 miles an hour, apart from gravity like this. Trying to explain the e-bikes to someone the other day who's thinking of getting one, but they couldn't understand how it works. And I get that, because I was a bit the same at the start with the pedal X. I was like, what? If you're pedaling, how can that be assisted? Well, it is, isn't it? You sure know when it's not assisting, that's one thing for sure. Castle Valley. Whoop. On the R Raymond full rate, 150 mil travel front and back, 630 watt hour, 70 newton meter motor, I believe, or is it 80? And I'll double check that, I'll put it on the screen. I mean, if I compare this e-bike to my Lapierre e-Cross Hill, which is my e-gravel bike, and that's a 40 newton meter motor. It's got a 250 watt battery in the down tube, secreted away. Can't take it out of that bike, it's completely unremovable. And the Marley motor is in the rear hub, and yeah, it's night and day, because you get to a steep climb on my gravel bike and you got to work for it. You will get the assistance, but it's minimal, and it's literally taking up the extra weight. Where it comes alive with a 40 newton meter battery is where you want to cover ground quickly, where the slope isn't too, or the gradient isn't too sharp, going up, and when you're going into a headwind and you want to get that climb out of the way. So it definitely has its place, but it's not at anywhere near the same level of assistance you get on a 70 or 80 Newton meter motor like this Yamaha PWST motor. This is proper assistance. According to a guy I was chatting to last weekend, who's got the same motor in his Giant Trance E, the Bosch motor is more direct, but the power is there when you put it in auto. I think they call it MTB mode or something on the Bosch, or trail mode. On the Yamaha it's just called automatic A. But he's saying, you know, the power is instantaneous, whereas with the Yamaha you've got to give it a couple of pedal strokes to sort of tell it which one to, and it's about a second, maybe 2 seconds sometimes, for it to pop it into the high mode for a climb or whatever. It's no big deal. It hasn't affected me in any way, because you know it's going to kick in. You just got to start pedaling. But yeah, if you want something more instantaneous, almost like a throttle, then yeah, the Bosch motor is definitely the one. And I consider the money I've spent on this from new, honestly, you know, I had 40% off the list price, or whatever you want to call it, manufacturer's retail price of $3,995. So what a deal. And as I'm new to e-mtb, I certainly wasn't willing to spend anything like 4 or 5 plus if I didn't get on with it. You know, it's just a hassle then selling it, and you're not going to get that back, you know, especially with the market as it is. I thought, well, let's focus on the motor. Let's go for something that is reliable and well known. So there were some propositions out there by some of the big mail order companies, and I didn't know much about the motors. So Yamaha, I've always known Yamaha. Being a musician, I've had a Yamaha electric guitar, which was so well built. It was actually one of my favourite guitars. It was as good as, well, it was like the one that Carlos Santana was playing with a double cutaway. So for me it was like, yep, it's a quality make. It's still absolutely night and day when you compare it to riding your non-E powered bike. Absolutely night and day. Very puddly here on this today, and avoid soft mud. Sometimes you can pop off the verges, but I'm going to stay on the hard stuff just for traction's sake. Very off camber there. I'll probably lean in to the hillside. definitely got the fork and the shock set up where I want it to be set up now. And I'm still running fairly decent pressures in the tyres, and yet the bike is feeling comfortable and grippy. So I've got like 25 PSI in the front and the 30 in the back. And then in the fork and the shock I'm running 30% sag. So I did try going to 25 and it wasn't for me. My wrists, oh, I mean it felt fast and not too uncomfortable, but after the ride my wrists, oh, there was just too much buzz. Fork, the Revelation, it's a nice fork, but you gotta know its limits. Okay, a wet, foggy and windy Cwmcarn, Cabal and Twrch, being ridden a bit more steadily than usual, just to account for the conditions. Lots of puddles and wet roots. But the bike's feeling really good. Mind you, it's taken me 2 months to get it set up really for different trails. And I mean, if I'd gone over to Forest of Dean today, I probably would have taken a bit of air out the tyres. I would have left the fork and the shock alone. Yeah, the Brecon ride I did is you're on doing a descent which goes on for like 8 miles, and I was really able to set it up because I could stop the bike, fiddle with it, and then crack on for another kilometre or so. And I did stop quite a few times pedaling with the rebound, particularly the rebound. And that's where I went back to 30% sag. Thanks for joining me on this ride of Cabal and Twrch. Fantastic what these e-bikes can do, and absolutely amazing. Right, we'll just get some of this mud off. Yeah, so thanks for joining me. See you on the next one. I'd have that little wash, isn't it? That definitely worked. Squeezing it in. This has been a good car though. Well, the wife bought it second-hand. I don't actually own this car. Coming up to the 10-year anniversary on it. So we bought it in 2014. So it's got about 80,000 on the clock. But yeah, I mean, we get it through the MOT, we do the jobs it needs. None have been too costly at the moment, but you never know. There's always that surprise with the older cars. But right now, just grateful to have a car, to be honest, and to get fuel in it.